Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here, dude. Another month has came to a close. Believe it or not, we're here today to recap the month that was November 2019. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Old Rasputin by No Coast. It's a Russian Imperial Stout.
All right. And you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about November 2019.
Hey everybody, Kevin Algebra here. I want you to sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and enjoy this episode of Gaming Off the Grid. Cheers, fellas.
All right, here we go. November 2019 is about over with. It flew by, and it's time for a monthly recap. November was an awesome freaking month. Although it went too fast, we had a ton of fun and a lot of notable memories that we want to talk about in today's episode. So let's start with the first category, and that is YouTube Channel of the Month.
Yes, YouTube Channel of the Month is RetroBear.
Yes, he won YouTuber of the Month. If you want to see that, we'll put a link in the description below to that video over on Do You Nerds channel. This is a channel we've been watching for a long time, and it's kind of a almost like a more of a conversation-based YouTube channel. I kind of liken it to like a podcast.
Yes, it's a very podcast-esque feel. He's a really small channel. We actually nominated him for YouTuber of the Month, and he won, so that's super cool. And I just love listening to him talk. He has like this really sexy British accent. He does a lot of pickup videos, which I'm not a big fan of, but like the way he talks and the way he tells stories, it's fascinating.
Yeah, you know, pickup videos they're like a dime a dozen, but when you find the person that has that touch and that feel, you know, it makes them fun to watch. And some people love those videos. They just don't really move the needle for us as much, usually. But when RetroBear does it, it's really good. So congrats on winning YouTuber of the Month, RetroBear, and we look forward to watching your channel to continue to grow and crush out content. Much love, and you do a great job over there.
Now let's move on to YouTube Video of the Month. Now, we're going to break some rules again because we can. It's our channel. We can do whatever the we want. So, YouTube Video of the Month is one of ours.
Yeah, well, hey, here's the deal. We are givers. We like giving people things, and we like shouting at other channels. But you know what? This time we need it, because we put out a video. Chester Cheeto's Wild Wild Quest. We shot this video at the barbershop with our good dear friend Hogan. And this video turned out so good, in my opinion. Not to toot our own horn.
It turned out so great, and it's so funny. And like, we made a short film for the intro, so like, it took a lot of time. It didn't do very well, which is fine. You know, I'm still proud of it, but like, it's so good.
Yeah, more people need to see it. I really feel like we captured the feel of what it's like to sit down and play a video game with us, you know, and our friends and things like that. On top of that, I know personally, and I think all of us probably feel the same way, getting to work with you guys on this project, I know from my vantage point, was not only so fun because you guys are my friends, but you guys know so much more about film and making movies and things like that than I do. So being able to just plug myself into that and watch how you guys think about things, set up shots, angles, and you two just flow together like that. And so it was really cool to be a part of that and kind of step outside of my comfort zone, where like I'm used to creating in a musical space, and I guess now this YouTube space, I've never done anything much like that filming piece that we did at the beginning. It was so fun.
Oh, it's so fun. I love doing stuff like that. I used to have a film company in high school. I love being able to be like, okay, here's the idea, here's the shots we need, this is the story we're trying to tell, let's do it.
Let's do it. And then, you know, post-op, I'm always impressed with what you're able to do. If you've seen the video or you haven't, spoiler alert, when we're riding in the van, the audio was all jacked up because we had the windows down, because we filmed this in like July. It was hotter than hell. Like, our nuggets were frying on the seat cushions. And so we had to have the windows down because the air conditioning's broke in the van. And so the audio was all jacked up. So we overdubbed the vocals.
Yes, we had to redub the vocals after I edited it together.
Yeah.
I made it go in shot by shot and get the tonation right, get everything right. If you know it's there, it's kind of noticeable, but if you don't, I think we did a pretty good job. And I've never overdubbed before, so it was a learning thing for me too. It was fascinating.
Yeah, it was really cool. You did a great job with that.
No, I haven't. I haven't texted him a couple times. Haven't even been to the barber in a couple. I'm just gonna do that first part.
And then, you know, the game. The game is a piece of shit, but it was so bad that it's funny, and I'm glad we beat it, and I'll honestly probably play it again. I'm really looking forward to playing the first one.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to playing that one too. And speaking of the game, our game of the month is Wild Wild Quest.
Yes, and it just has to be.
It's a terrible game.
The game's not that good. It's really bad. Controllers are spongy. They're all over the place. Reaction time's not great. The game is very sluggish. Has a ton of slowdown. But we had a blast. We had so much fun. It was a game, what Hogan does in this series is he finds what he calls a deep cutter, a game that we haven't heard of before that he thinks is just going to blow our minds because it's so bad. And he was right. He was right.
Most people are like, you picked that over like Death Stranding or Luigi's Mansion 3. Yes.
Yeah.
We haven't played those yet.
Well,
but,
and, I've always looked at video games kind of like I look at like a fine cigar or I look at a good beer. I can't tell you the best cigar I've ever had, because it's not about that, it's about who I enjoyed it with, right? And I look at video game experiences much in the same way. Now, I can tell you my favorite games I've ever played, but getting together with really good friends and that memory that we'll always have, that we sat down, we grinded through this piece of shit,
and we beat it.
We beat it, and we took it on the chin, and we stood up and said, you know what, enough is enough. We're gonna whoop this game's ass. And so, game of the month, Chester Cheetah's Wild Wild Quest. I challenge you to find another YouTube channel out there that would pick this game for Game of the Month.
Yeah, I dare you. Now let's move on to comment of the month.
This is a tough one.
Yes. So first off, official Cheeto's account on Instagram commented on our Instagram post about this. What?
Yeah,
that's so.
That type of stuff still just gets us. I mean, Robert literally texted me a screenshot that was like, dude! Like,
Cheeto's commented.
So that was really cool. I still will never get used to, like the guys from Pixel Game Squad, when they comment, that's always really
always
crazy.
Freak out when they comment.
And then this month, we got a comment on a video from Metal Jesus Rocks.
Yes.
And from Pat Country.
And from Pat. Oh my, it's insane.
Just unbelievable. And I don't know how I will ever get past the fangirl aspect of like, holy shit.
Dude, every time one of them comments, I'm like, I want to just comment and be like, yeah. You gotta act normal, you gotta act cool.
Yeah, you gotta play cool.
Collected.
Play cool, big. Hey, what's up, Jason?
What's up?
Yeah. No big deal.
No big deal.
Just coming in on our video.
We're normal.
Hope everything's going good over there, bruh. But we're really like. So, anyways.
Yeah, so we have a handful.
I don't even know where to go with it.
But,
yeah, those, I think all of them, I can't choose. I get so happy over that stuff. And it's really a race, Pixel Game Squad, a Cheeto, Metal Jesus Rocks, and Pat Country. You sorted out.
Yeah.
So that was a good time.
Yeah,
for sure. So we always talk about a beer of the month. We had a lot of good beer in November. It's weird that it's already this point of the month, because I really felt like when we sit down to talk about beer of the month, I was thinking pumpkin beers.
Yes.
It's like, no, that was last month, dude. We're already here. So what do you got for beer of the month?
Beer of the month. We had a week during November where it was Founders Beer Week. It kind of just happened where we did 2 Founders beers. And this is our Founders beer. This is CBS. Oh my God, this beer is so good, and it sucks because this is the last year they're ever gonna make it, and it's such a good beer.
Yeah, so that is their Canadian breakfast stout. Founders Brewery is one we've touted a lot on the channel, and one thing I like about the brewery, aside from their quality, is you, the viewer, can probably get Founders in your area.
Yes.
Now, the CBS, it's more of a limited release, but the point is, it's a brewery that everyone who watches can probably get their hands on, where we do some more obscure stuff sometimes, and it makes it tough for the viewer to engage, because how the hell are they supposed to get
like,
that
what
beer?
is this? Yeah.
Unless we mail it to them, which you're not supposed to mail beer. So anyways, it's an epic stout. I'm a big stout fan. It is up there on that pedestal of the better stouts I've ever had in my life. I don't know that I would quite say it's the best one, but it's really damn good. It's
up there, and it's so sad that I'm never gonna have it again.
Yeah, it's I've always really liked the Kentucky
the KBS.
Yeah, KBS. Yeah, and so this I would say is very comparable to that. It might even be a little bit, but I'd have to try them side by side. But a amazing beer by an amazing brewery that honestly they make great beer after great beer. And like even the beers that were like kind of like, oh, it's not our favorite, it's still better than almost everything else.
Yeah, it's so good. Now let's move on to what's on in the game room. This month has been crazy.
Yep.
We've been out of the game room a lot. So we're just going to talk about music this month. But this album has taken over our lives, and to be honest, this band has taken over our lives recently. And the album is Electric Larryland by the Butthole Surfers. Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we've both known a little bit about the Butthole Surfers. Like Who Was in My Room Last Night was a Super Nintendo commercial song, which is really cool. Not off this album, it was off Independent Worm Saloon. But Pepper, everybody knows
Pepper's off Electric Larryland. That's like their big hit.
But we've never really just dove deep into the band. And right now we're 2.5-ish albums deep of our search. And holy cow, did we miss some of the best, like, odd alt-rock music of all
so
time.
good.
They are so good. And this album in particular, just banger after banger. The first 7 songs, literally, they are money. And then it goes into that weird noise piece, like
but
4.5
I still
minutes.
like it.
It is cool. And then right after that, back to
Another
kicking
banger,
ass
yeah.
and laying waste. And this band, this album, Electric Larry Land, if you haven't checked out that album by the Butthole Surfers, you got to do yourself a favor. If you like alt-rock, got to check it out.
Now, before we talk about our last category, let's talk about this beer.
This beer, okay, so we talked about the CBS. We're doing another stout. This is a Russian Imperial Stout by North Coast.
Yes.
It's the Old Reputin. This is a straightforward Russian Imperial Stout. I would say this is like a definitive example of this style of beer, I would say. There's not much crazy going on here. It's got a very bitter dark chocolate and a very rich, robust coffee. So the beer comes off as very bitter.
It's very bitter, and I'm not a huge fan of dark chocolate, so like this is gonna take me a while to drink. It's still good, and I'm enjoying the flavor, but like the bitterness is super strong. And I think like if you're trying to get into stouts or Russian Imperial stouts, this might be one that you have to build up to because it's so bitter and it's so aggressive.
Great point.
It's not as smooth as a lot of the other ones are. It's still really good though.
It's a great example of a Russian Imperial Stout. This is a beer that I could be like, oh, you never had one? This is what they taste like.
Yeah.
Ish, right? Now there's a bunch of other companies that add to it and twist it and do their thing with it. But this is a good brew.
I think this is the first beer we've had from North Coast, and I'm intrigued, and I want to go down their library.
Yeah, absolutely. So highlights of the month, November was really, really good to us, and this is in no particular order. We did our 1980s exhibit at the Knoxville Hospital Gala, so we were helping raise money for that.
Which was super cool. We set up like a bunch of NESs. We had old school wrestling, and it was so cool that like people came in and played Duck Hunt. There was Contra, Dr. Mario. Yep. It was just awesome to set up like this exhibit because we did the Mario Kart exhibit a couple months ago.
I just love how like video games, they're just a unifier.
Yeah.
You know, everybody in that room was morphed into being the same age, same social status. It didn't matter. There were doctors in there, and then there were piss ants like us in there, and we were all hanging out.
We were all hanging out,
having a great time, and I just love things like that erase the social hierarchy and all that. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. Right now, we're playing Mario 3. And that's what we're doing. And everybody's on the same page. And holy shit, Hulk Hogan. Oh, is that the $1 Million Man? You know,
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, it was so
cool.
Dude,
one of my favorite highlights from this event was there were these 2 dudes playing Tecmo Bowl, and they were way into it. And they were like yelling and cussing, and it was so funny.
Yeah.
Like it was like you were like 12 again getting mad, and you're like, come on, Bo. Like,
yeah. It's awesome. I love it. It just teleports people back, you know, and that's what's so awesome about video games. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Then we did a Mario Kart tournament at Reclaimed Rails Brewery.
Yeah, which was a lot of fun. We had about 20 people show up, which kind of small, but it's a smaller brewery. Yep. And it was our first time ever doing a tournament, so thank you to everyone that came out.
Yeah, the kid that won it, he cleaned everybody's clock. He won first place, I think, in every pool play race that he was in. And then a couple other things. So we did some collaborations. We have one in the can that we can't talk about. We'll talk about that in December.
Wink, wink.
Really excited about that one. Then we were on Adam Corlick's podcast.
Yes,
the Figure It Out podcast.
Figure It Out cast, which was super cool. We sat down and talked to Adam for about an hour. Special thanks to Frisbee Champion Puppy for hooking us up with that. He supplied the opportunity.
And he goes by Woobio as well, so however you may know him in the community, but yeah, he hooked us up big time.
But we talked to Adam about a variety of different topics, and it was just really cool to be able to just chat with him, because we've met him at cons before, but like it's always in passing, and like, but we like actually got to sit down and talk with him. So that was a lot of fun. And then we did a really big collaboration with Rock Solid Productions about what we're thankful for this year. And it was a giant collab with J-Love, Mega Dan, Pixel Game Squad, Rock Solid Productions.
It was really cool just to be with all those folks. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, it turned out very, very well. We'll put a link in the description below. Gary actually filmed the whole thing naked. So you definitely are going to want to see it. And it might get taken down soon. So I would head over to his channel and check it out. So.
Oh, and don't forget, we also got featured on Metal Jesus' website. Fangirling, it was crazy. Yeah. It actually happened at the very tail end of October, but it was after we filmed our October monthly recap, so we're going to mention it here. And that's just insane.
Yeah.
That we got put on his website. I still don't believe it. It's still insane.
It was our Portland Retro Recap, or Pickups, one of the two.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the video we commented on. Man, it's... Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was amazing. All right, there you have it. A pretty little bow on the month that was November 2019. Such a fun month. There's so many episodes that I will never forget from this month. We talked about changing Mario's look. What? Yeah, people were a little upset about that, but just remember, you really did like how his look changed from Super Mario Brothers to Mario 2 to Mario 3 to Super Mario World. Just think about that.
Yeah.
Reconsider. And then we talked about Chester Cheetah. We ate a bunch of Cheetos. We talked about
video game burnout. We gave away some PS2 games. We talked about Pat Country's new book.
Yep.
What a great month.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a great month.
A lot of fun, and somehow we gotta come back and try raising the bar in December. We've got some really good things planned, though, so make sure you stay tuned. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking, and we'll see you in December. And you guys are watching this on Thanksgiving Day, so we appreciate you so much for tuning in and taking time away from your turkey.
And your family.
Yeah.
And your butts.
What if your family is a turkey?
Then you're a cannibal.
Old Rasputin.
I know it's rated world class.
Yeah, more like world ass.
There's no laughing in church, Sonny. What have I told you about laughing in church when they're talking about Christ our Savior?